watching KTLA5 Los Angeles.
KTLA News with live cameras in the air and on the ground. KTLA covers Southern California with the news live on 5. This is the 6:30 edition of KTLA News with live cameras in the air and on the ground. Western America's first television station brings you now the news live on 5. Now, here is Joseph Bentley.
Good evening.
KTLA camera crews rush to you each night the news of this day on Newspicture 5:30.
This is the Big 5 News with the Channel 5 News team of Kevin Sanders and Barney Morris. Commentary by Tom Retton. Sports with Tom Harmon. And now, here is Kevin Sanders.
An 11-year-old girl was shot to death in Malibu today.
Stand by for news. It's next on Channel 5.
Live and in color from Los Angeles, Channel 5 presents the George Putnam News with Hal Fishman, Tom Harmon, and Larry McCormick. And exclusive reports from the world's only telecopter and telemobile, plus comprehensive news coverage from air and sea patrol in the fastest moving news report in television. And now, here is George Putnam.
Thank you, Steve Dunn.
A home right here in Los Angeles appears to be inhabited by a poltergeist. After 50 years of service, the great white steamship may soon sail away for good. There's good news in the RTD strike. And police today made a blanket search of radio station KPFK looking for the alleged communique from the self-proclaimed New World Liberation Front. And labor wins in Britain. I'm Cleet Roberts, and this is The World at 10.
The World at 10, a complete summary of the day's events. All the news, where it happens, when it happens. The most comprehensive news report in the Southland. With Cleet Roberts and the Channel 5 News team. Now, The World at 10. Brought to you in part by Harris & Frank, the 38 fashion stores with the famous brands for men and women.
Ladies and gentlemen, there appear to be some very strange things happening in one Los Angeles home tonight, and those involved say the unusual events have been going on for a...
Good evening. Rewards totaling $140,000 are being offered or proposed for information leading to the arrest of the Los Angeles Strangler. And we're going to show you what some women are doing to protect themselves in dangerous situations. They're learning the art of fighting off attackers.
Tighter regulations are being proposed under which the government will pay for sterilization operations. And former President Gerald Ford, speaking here in Los Angeles, has some comments about the upcoming preliminary peace conference in Cairo.
Governor Brown has returned to Los Angeles from London, but this time he did not take the cheapy flight. And John Wayne is back in familiar surroundings, working for a new outfit, one he says he can be proud of.
Tonight on NewsWatch with Hal Fishman, Marilyn Devon, and Larry McCormick. Mudslides take a heavy toll in Sweden. A scientific breakthrough in the use of artificial genes. And 3 top awards go to Channel 5's NewsWatch.
Channel 5, News at 10, the #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Now, Emmy Award-winning Hal Fishman, Debbie Davison, Larry McCormick, Joe Butita with sports, and the entire Channel 5 news team.
Good evening.
Channel 5, News at 10, the #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Now, Emmy Award-winning Hal Fishman, Debbie Davison, Larry McCormick, Steve Rohr with sports, and the entire Channel 5 news team. Good evening.
Channel 5, News at 10, the #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Now, Emmy Award-winning Hal Fishman, Debbie Davison, Larry McCormick, Keith Olbermann with sports, and the entire Channel 5 News team.
Channel 5 News at 10. The #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Now, Larry McCormick, Giselle Fernandez, Ed Arnold with Sports Page, and the entire Channel 5 News team.
Good evening. It is the first day of November in 1986.
Channel 5 News at 10. The #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Now, award-winning Hal Fishman, T.U. Lake, Larry McCormick, Keith Olbermann with sports, and the entire Channel 5 News team. Now, the #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Channel 5 News at 10. Award-winning Hal Fishman, Jen Carroll, Larry McCormick, Keith Olbermann with sports, and the entire Channel 5 News team. Now, the #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Channel 5 News at 10. Award-winning Hal Fishman, Jan Caro, Larry McCormick, Stu Nahan with sports, and the entire Channel 5 News team. Now, the #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Channel 5 News at 10. Award-winning Hal Fishman, Jan Carl, Larry McCormick, Stu Nahan with sports, and the entire Channel 5 News team.
Good evening, everybody. Hal Fishman is on vacation.
Now, the #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Channel 5 News at 10. Larry McCormick, Minerva Perez, Ed Arnold with sports, and the entire award-winning Channel 5 News team.
Good evening, everyone. Larry McCormick has the night off. 1991.
Now, Southern California's first 2-hour morning newscast. Carlos Amezcua, Barbara Beck, Mark Prisky with traffic and weather. KTLA Morning News.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. In just a moment, we are going to take you up in...
Live, the #1 morning news program in Southern California. Barbara Beck, Carlos Amezcua, Mark Prisky, Eric Spillman, Michelle Ruiz, Sam Rubin, Jim Newman, and Jennifer York in Skycam 5. This is the KTLA Morning News.
1994.
Live, the #1 morning news program in Southern California. Carlos Amezcua, Barbara Beck, Mark Prisky, Michelle Ruiz, Eric Spillman, Sam Rubin, Jim Newman, and Jennifer York in Skycam 5. This is the KTLA Morning News.
Doesn't everyone?
I know.
This is big
stuff. This is big stuff.
Neil, you know what?
Good morning.
The #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Award-winning Hal Fishman, Jan Carl, Larry McCormick, and Stu Nahan with sports. Channel 5 News at 10. Now, the #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Award-winning Hal Fishman, Jan Carl, Larry McCormick, Stu Nahan with sports. Channel 5 News at 10.
the #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Larry McCormick, Minerva Perez, and Ed Arnold with sports. Channel 5 News at 10.
Good evening. Roger Mahoney, California's first Cardinal, celebrates.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Ruiz. This is Friday, the 4th of October, 1996. Good morning, I'm Michelle Ruiz with the 5:30 edition of the KTLA Morning News.
KTLA Channel 5, the first news in LA, now brings you the news you need for today with Michelle Ruiz and Jennifer York in Skycam 5, the KTLA Morning News 5:30 edition.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Ruiz. This is Tuesday, the 15th of July, 1997.
Live from Los Angeles, Michelle Ruiz, Carlos Amezcua, Mark Christie, Eric Spillman, Jim Newman, and Jennifer York in Skycam 5. This is the KTLA Morning News Early Edition.
California's traffic, weather, and the news you need. This is the KTLA Morning News Early Edition.
Good morning. Carlos is out ill today. Jennifer has been watching.
Live, the #1 morning news program in Southern California. Carlos Amezcua, Barbara Beck, Mark Christie, Michelle Ruiz, Eric Spillman, Sam Rubin, Jim Newman, Gail Anderson, and Jennifer York in Skycam 5. This is the KTLA Morning News.
Yeah, because you have to take care of leather. You really do.
Good morning.
You have to put the stuff on so it doesn't crack. Good morning.
Live, the #1 morning news program in Southern California. Barbara Beck, Carlos Amezcua, Mark Christie, Eric Spillman, Michelle Ruiz, Sam Rubin, Jim Newman, Gail Anderson, and Jennifer York in Skycam 5. This is the KTLA Morning News.
All that plus a carpool lane that may double as a regular lane on this Wednesday, the 13th of November, 1996.
Live, the KTLA Morning News with Carlos Amezcua, Barbara Beck, Mark Christie, Eric Spillman, Michelle Ruiz, Sam Rubin, Jim Newman, Gail Anderson, and Jennifer York in Skycam 5. LA's #1 way to start the day, the KTLA Morning News.
Taking a look outside, you know, this is supposed to be a major day here.
Now, the #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Award-winning Hal Fishman, Jan Caro, Larry McCormick, Stu Mahan with sports. Channel 5 News at 10.
Good evening. The first major storm of the season hit Southern.
Now, the #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Larry McCormick, Marta Woller, Ed Arnold with Sports Page. Channel 5 News at 10.
Good evening. Convicted mass.
And now, Channel 5 News at 10 with Hal Fishman, Jan Caro, Larry McCormick, and Stu Mahan. Here's Hal Fishman.
Good evening. Shocking developments in the O.J. Simpson murder trial today.
And now, Channel 5 News at 10. Here's Hal Fishman.
Good evening. A tremendous explosion at the Texaco refinery.
And now, Channel 5 News at 10. Here's Larry McCormick.
Good evening.
This is the KTLA News First Edition.
Starting today, some visitors to the U.S. will undergo new
This is the KTLA News Early Edition with Carlos Amezcua, Sharon Tay, Mark Kriske, Eric Spillman, Jim Newman, and Jennifer York in Skycam 5.
$1997.
Live from Hollywood, this is the KTLA Morning News with Carlos Amezcua, Barbara Beck, Mark Kriske, Michelle Ruiz, Eric Spillman, Sam Rubin, Jim Newman, Gail Anderson, and Jennifer York in Skycam 5.
It's a beautiful day to chase helicopters. Gorgeous morning.
There's not much else going on this
Good
morning.
Friday morning.
Yes, I think it's going to actually be a nice day.
Think so?
I think so.
You don't have to think about
Live from Hollywood, this is the KTLA Morning News with Carlos Amezcua, Barbara Beck, Mark Kriske, Sharon Tay, Eric Spillman, Sam Rubin, Jim Newman, Gail Anderson, and Jennifer York in Skycam 5.
2002.
Live from Hollywood, this is the KTLA Morning News with Carlos Amezcua, Giselle Fernandez, Mark Kriske, Sam Rubin, and the entire KTLA Morning News team.
Holy cow.
Good morning, everyone. So not only is it supposed to rain this weekend when everybody's having parties and parades,
Yeah,
it's El Nino, the first time in 10 years it comes around for some distance.
I think that's bad news. We're going to raise our rates on
Tuesday, the 30th of December, 2004.
Live from Hollywood, this is the KTLA Morning News with Carlos Amezcua, McKenna Pereira, Mark Kriske, Sam Rubin, and the entire KTLA Morning News team.
Good morning.
It's true that what they said, there was a tornado?
Yeah. 2003.
Live from Hollywood, this is the KTLA Morning News.
I think you would know how to say her name.
Yeah, it's Darren. Like Barron.
Like Barron.
Yeah, Charlize
Good morning,
Theron.
everyone.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It is.
This is KTLA News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Larry McCormick.
And I'm Sharon Tay.
This is the Southland's #1 choice for news. KTLA News at 10. This is KTLA News at 10 with Larry McCormick, Marta Waller, and Ed Arnold with sports. This is KTLA News at 10 with Hal Fishman, Terry Anser, Larry McCormick, Roland Galvan, weather, and Tony Hernandez with sports.
Oh, that's right. A man in Hawthorne accused of practicing law without a license.
This is KTLA News at 10 with Hal Fishman, Terry Anser, Larry McCormick, Marta Waller, Roland Galvan, weather, Mindy Verbano, entertainment, and Tony Hernandez with sports.
Our top story tonight, a 6-year-old Orange County girl lured into a car by a stranger. What are the latest on the kidnapping in a live report?
Then surprising new information about 4 gruesome murders that have left an entire community in shock. Also, one of the most volatile days in Wall Street history as the president addresses the state of the U.S. economy.
And a large creature lingers off the Southern California coast. You'll see why some consider it quite astonishing. Good evening, I'm Hal Fishman.
I'm Marta Waller. Lynette Romero has the night off.
A 6-year-old girl was kidnapped tonight from in front of her.
This is the KTLA Morning News, First Edition.
The rain's over, but the damage is only beginning to be assessed.
This is the KTLA Morning News, First Edition.
It destroyed more than 50 homes over the weekend, and now firefighters are hoping to have the Corral Canyon blaze surrounded by today. However, they are still trying to determine how the fire started. Good morning, everybody. I'm Cher Calvin.
Good morning. I'm Lou Parker.
Live from Hollywood, this is the KTLA Morning News.
Good morning. Wow,
Good to see you.
Beautiful day, huh?
Thank you
Already.
for sitting down and having a little moment with us as you drink your first cup of coffee this morning. Good morning, and talk about a hard day at the office. I'm Michaela Pereira. Good morning.
Megan Henderson. Yes, good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Live from Hollywood, this is the KTLA Morning Show.
Breaking news, an elderly gunman opens fire inside the Holocaust Memorial Museum in the nation's capital. We're just getting in new information about the suspect.
Here in L.A., police are on the hunt for a rapist after a young girl is kidnapped and attacked.
And we're live on the scene of a nasty pileup on Interstate 15. Dozens of cars involved.
This is the KTLA5 News at 1 p.m.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the KTLA News at 1 p.m. Frank Buckley has the day off. I'm Eric Spillman.
And I'm Michaela Pereira.
This is the KTLA5 News at 6.
Good evening. I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Victoria Racagna. Welcome to the KTLA News at 6.
This is the KTLA News at 6:30. Southern California's only local news at 6:30.
Good evening. I'm Emmett Miller.
Good evening. I'm Hal Fishman.
I'm Leila Feinstein.
This is the Emmy Award-winning KTLA Prime News.
Good evening. I'm Leila Feinstein.
And I'm Emmett Miller.
It's like Valentine's Day. You messed it up. But
I know.
just to be
Oh,
fair,
that's right.
we all show up and we're like, hey, nice stuff. Hey, nice stuff.
Yeah, but definitely.
Good morning to you. I'm Chris Schaubel. Welcome to the early edition of the KTLA5 Morning News.
And I'm Lynette Romero. In this morning for Megan Henderson. She'll be back tomorrow.
Good morning and welcome to KTLA Morning News at 8. I'm Michaela.
Good morning on this Thursday. The week is flying by. Welcome to the 9 o'clock hour.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rick Chambers.
And I'm Mary Beth McDade. The KTLA 5 News at 6 starts right now.
Well, it's almost Carmageddon again. At least that's how some drivers are describing the lane closures on the 405 again.
Good evening. I'm Cher Calvin. Micah has the night off.
KTLA 5 Sports Final, powered by your Southern California Ford dealer.
Now at 11, a disturbing discovery inside a company bathroom. Workers find a hidden camera. We've got the exclusive details.
Plus, an officer hospitalized after a violent confrontation with a motorist, and it's all caught on video.
If you're going to die, you're going to die. If I would have let this man go, he would be free today.
And the victim of yesterday's road rage shooting speaks out about the terrifying ordeal now on the news at 11. Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Lou Parker, and tonight for Cher Calvin. Women at one Southern California business are outraged tonight after learning someone was spying on them whenever they took a bathroom break.
One game away from a trip to the World Series. Dodgers fans say tonight's loss, and by tonight we mean last night's loss, is just destiny delayed. Early edition of the KTLA5 Morning News starts right now. Well, look who's back.
Hello. Yeah. Yay. Thank you.
A little jet lagged.
Way jet lagged.
We're impressed.
Thank you. At what?
You've opened a new spot. First, you had your South of France location.
Right.
You bought property in Japan, and we are just amazed. We are just amazed. Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Closures related to it. We actually have a couple of signalers we need to break down for your ride.
LeBron James gets a king's ransom. Details on the contract extension that'll keep him in a Lakers jersey for at least a few more years. The KTLA5 Morning News starts right now.
Good morning, everybody. It is 5 o'clock on a very windy day, at least for some throughout Southern California. Not for all, but the Santa Anas are out there, and where we're seeing those Santa Anas extreme.
You're slightly cooler, though, compared to yesterday. Your full 7-day forecast, including your Easter Day forecast, coming up.
Good morning. Welcome to the KTLA Morning News. It is 6 a.m. I'm Lynette Romero.
I'm Chris Porras. Very good to have you along this morning. There's a car that has ended up really not where it's supposed to be. The car.
Welcome to the KTLA 5 News at 7. Good morning. I'm Frank Buckley.
Good morning. I'm Jessica Holmes. Happening now, a massive show of support for the family of Sergeant Steve Owen as hundreds begin to gather for the deputy's memorial service.
Donald Trump facing a slew of new allegations this morning that he groped and kissed women as Hillary Clinton's campaign comes under fire for allegedly mocking Catholics.
And getting through security at LAX is about to get faster. How you could soon scoot past the slowpokes.
And it could be the most epic tattoo of all time. Or is it a sign of the times? That's coming up.
But first, let's get to Ginger for a check of the traffic. Good morning.
Hi, guys. Yes, good morning to you as well.
They're on it. Our viewers, you can't get anything by them. If there's anything...
they noticed something.
9 o'clock hour.
Look at this fancy new set. If you're just joining us in the 9 o'clock hour, we're on a new stage, stage 6 here.
Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, Friday. We're just about heading in.
Good morning and welcome to the KTLA 5 Morning News at 11 a.m. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. Thanks for joining us this morning. Local business owners are beyond frustrated as brazen burglars break into their business.
I mean, Doug is a dead ringer for Casey. I mean, let's be honest, they might get confused on the street. Like Snoop Dogg impersonator.
Southland as triple-digit temperatures are expected. Thanks for joining us. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. The excessive heat warning will remain in effect until this.
Now at 1, the Alisal fire is growing rapidly in Santa Barbara County, forcing residents to evacuate and a portion of the 101 freeway to be shut down. Good afternoon. This is the KTLA 5 News at 1. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker.
Good afternoon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. An incoming storm has prompted a high wind.
Now at 4, a shocking ambush in New York's Midtown Manhattan. The CEO of one of the nation's largest health insurers gunned down in what police called a brazen, targeted attack. Good afternoon. This is the KTLA 5 News at 4. I'm Samantha Cortese.
And I'm John Fennell.
Good afternoon. This is the KTLA 5 News at 5. I'm Cher Calvin.
And I'm Lou Parker in for Pedro Rivera. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Coast. But first, a shocking update on one of the worst motor vehicle accidents in the U.S. in nearly a decade. Now on the news at 6:30. Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman. Tonight we are learning more about the 20 victims killed in the crash and the checkered past of the limo company they hired.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rick Chambers in tonight from Michael Ullman.
And I'm Cher Calvin. Hollywood in shock tonight with the sudden passing of a Hollywood legend. Just one day after her daughter, Carrie Fisher, passed away, iconic actress Debbie Reynolds has died after suffering an apparent stroke. She was 84.
Now at 11, the desperate search for this missing mother who disappeared under suspicious circumstances. Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Cher Calvin. 39-year-old Heidi Plank was last seen leaving her son's football game nearly 2 weeks.
This is KTLA, Channel 5, Tribune Broadcasting in Los Angeles.